Welcome to the Stigma Free Zone, an experiential art installation that enables attendees to see what it's like to have a self-managed abortion in a totally safe, supported, and stigma-free world. Come with me into the Stigma Free Zone. I'm Rosina with Abortion on Our Own Terms, and welcome to the Stigma Free Zone. The Stigma Free Zone is a space where an individual is imagining themselves having a self-managed abortion. The Stigma Free Zone is a place where you imagine an abortion free of stigma, free of shame, and free of judgment. Now, before we enter the space, I want to talk to you about our community agreements that you can find right here. Our community agreements largely go around the idea that this is a pro-abortion space. This is not a space where abortion is going to be debated. Abortion is supported, self-determination is supported, and in fact, celebrated. I do want to warn you, like a note of caution in general, that you never know how you might feel in this space. There are a lot of things that we're going to go through that can be triggering, that can be touch something within yourself, and just be kind to yourself and everybody in the space. And let's understand that everybody experiences the space a little bit differently. The last thing we're going to go over before we enter the stigma-free zone is the legal stuff, or the blah, blah, blah. Your legal risk is different depending on who you are and where you are physically, so it's important to consider that. We can't give you legal advice in this space because we're not attorneys, but we are happy to provide you with more resources. Head on over to abortiononourownterms.org for more information and legal resources. We're inviting you into this space to inform you. We're going to inform you of two things. One, what is a self-managed abortion? And two, what are some of the different reasons why someone might have a self-managed abortion? A self-managed abortion is an abortion that takes place outside of the conventional medical system. So you can do it in the comfort of your own home, you can do it at a friend's home, at a hotel. It's really up to you, because you or whomever is having the abortion has self-determination. That person can decide. Now, I'm going to ask you to consider what some of the reasons are that someone might want to have a self-managed abortion. And there's a whole host of them. One, time considerations, convenience. I'm going to ask you to consider and ask yourselves, what are some reasons you think someone might want to have a self-managed abortion? Now, when we're talking about self-managed abortion, we really want to acknowledge that there's a lot of different ways that people can do that. Predominantly, we're speaking about the regimen that you see on my t-shirt: MIFI, miso, 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 miso. But people use herbs, people use MVA extraction, people use abortion massage. However it is that you do it, it's okay. As long as somebody is safe and supported and making that choice for themselves, that's the most important thing. I'm sitting in this living room, and I'd like to invite you to imagine who might else be in here. What would one be doing? Loving on a pet, hanging out with friends, reading a magazine, reading a book to your child. However one decides to have a self-managed abortion is wonderful and is a beautiful choice for them. However one decides to self-manage is valid. However one decides to self-manage should be supported. So while we've been in the stigma-free zone, we've talked about why someone might self-manage, and now I want to talk to you more about who self-manages. Marginalized communities, including BIPOC folks, including LGBTQ+ folks, are the most likely to utilize SMA or self-managed abortion as a resource, but they are also the groups most likely to be criminalized. And there's a lot of evidence that the place where you are most likely to be criminalized is in those encounters with a medical provider or with emergency services. And the thing we really want to emphasize there is that medical providers have the power to protect their patients, have the power to ensure that their patients are not criminalized. Knowing how to engage with a system that allows people to seek medical care without calling social welfare, without calling police or other groups who might criminalize someone is an important part of what we ask providers to consider. I want to talk to you about community support networks. A community support network is made up of individuals and organizations who help people to access abortion and abortion care. Let's get real, self-managed abortion is on the increase for a variety of reasons, but a recent study showed that since Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Dobbs decision, that the number of self-managed abortions has more than quintupled. And that makes sense when you think about it. It makes sense because a lot of people want self-determination, the access to doing it when they want to, and the reasons we discussed in the living room, but also the need is there because of the changing legal landscape. And community support networks are really there for you no matter what the situation is on the ground. Come with me into the kitchen. Here we are in the kitchen. In the kitchen, I want to talk to you about nourishment and really invite you to dream, to really envision what it could be like. In the kitchen, we invite you to think about the kind of snacks and things that you would use to nourish your body. A lot of people consider the feeling of a self-managed abortion pretty comparable to a very heavy period. So think about what one might do in that experience. Maybe the use of a heating pad, maybe some ibuprofen, maybe some good nourishing food. So dare to dream what you might want for someone you cared about, what you might want for yourself. In this space, I want you to think about what you might do in your own room. Would you read a book? Would you watch television, take a nap? That tea you made in the kitchen, bring it to your bedside and relax. We have this on the bed right here just to acknowledge the reality that blood is a part of an abortion. And the flower petals, the beautiful peach flower petals here, are representative of that reality. In this space, we have lots of pillows, dolls, comfort items, because you have the right to safety and comfort when you self-manage your abortion. I think it's important that we talk about the transgender experience because transgender folks face some different risks, face some different discrimination, frankly, than the rest of us. Transgender people may fear judgment on the parts of their medical care providers. Some people may refuse to meet their medical needs. They may fear misgendering. They may fear dead naming. There's just a lot of different barriers and discrimination that they might face. And self-managed abortion allows people to have an abortion in the way that they want, surrounded by the people who love them. We are now in the bathroom. The bathroom is where a lot of the self-managed abortion process happens. We're gonna talk about what the reality is of self-managed abortion, and we're gonna talk to you about some of the resources that we have. You might experience cramping, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, blood clots, and people experience bleeding. If you need any additional information or you have any concerns about how your self-managed abortion is going, contact our friends at the M&A hotline. They'll be the best equipped to give you the answers that you need. And they're not our only resources. We also have emotional and logistical support from our friends at the Repro Care Hotline. This is anonymous, y'all. This is a helpline that you can call to get accurate information and, most importantly, caring emotional support. For medical advice, we just talked about the M&A hotline. For legal advice, we are going to direct you to the Repro Legal Helpline. This is where you can call if you feel like you're being criminalized or some other type of harm is being done to you for having your self-managed abortion. They have trained legal personnel there to answer any questions that you might have. And of course, if you have any questions whatsoever about digital safety, you can always trust our friends at the Digital Defense Fund. They have all sorts of resources about ways that you can protect yourself digitally when you choose to self-manage your abortion. All of these resources can be found on the Abortion on Our Own Terms website. There's one other piece that I want to make sure to highlight for you guys. Unfortunately, people have been criminalized for turning up at the ER. And while there is no current test for abortion-inducing drugs, you don't have to say that you've had an abortion if you go to the ER. And if you do find yourself where you are being criminalized, one way we're going to tell you to protect yourself is to contact the M&A hotline or the Repro Legal Helpline if you have any questions. For many people, the first step on the process to their self-managed abortion is a positive pregnancy test, and we want to acknowledge that reality. We also keep a pad in this space because blood is a part of it, and it's something that you are going to experience or one might experience in this space, and we just want to really draw the realities and acknowledge the realities of what people might be experiencing. As I'm sitting on this stool, this accompaniment stool, representing the person who might be there for someone who's having a self-managed abortion, whether that's a mother, a sister, a close friend, or other relative, a spiritual advisor, or alternatively, an abortion doula, or someone else trained to support someone through the self-managed abortion process. Now we are in one of my favorite spaces, the sacred space. And the sacred space is wonderful because it really invites you and dares you to dream about the cultural and spiritual practices that one might use to help with a self-managed abortion. We have a variety of objects in this space from different cultural traditions. We have singing bowls, we have some sage to burn, we have tarot cards, all sorts of different things. Because the sacred space is not meant to have fidelity to any one concept, it's representative of the cultural and spiritual practices of us all. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that that's not for everybody. And if none of these practices are applicable to an individual, that's fine too. However, someone wants to incorporate cultural and spiritual practices in their self-managed abortion is valid. As we end our gorgeous tour of the Stigma Free Zone, you guys have been with me as we have visioned, we have dreamed, we have seen how beautiful the future can be when people can self-manage their abortions. I want to invite you to follow us on social media, like us, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, abortiononourownterms.org. We'd really love to invite you to watch some real self-managed abortion stories and real videos that can be found on our website. Reach out to us at abortiononourownterms.org to bring the Stigma Free Zone to an event near you.